What's up, y'all? So actually running by, took a second to chill in this courtyard because it's super nice outside. I had to run by my CPA's office, doing some stuff with some LLCs, uh, getting some stuff figured out for my favorite time of year, which is tax season. But wanted to come on here, hopefully catch some of y'all at your lunch break. But wanted to talk about what we've got going on as far as our house. So I'm going to practice what I preach and say that it is a great time to buy and sell real estate. Now, I do understand that the market's been crazy. It's been extremely active, extremely competitive, and I guess I'll adjust the previous statement and say that it is a great time to buy and sell for most. That is not a uniform statement. Obviously, if you've got a ton of debt, you don't have a ton of cash reserves, you've got a lease that expires tomorrow, and you got to make a decision. It's just not. You may miss this cycle. We may need to go down the line. Um, that being said, we decided that we were going to purchase a new home. We got it under contract out in Roy City. Decided that new construction was our best bet because we did not want to get into a bidding situation, and we also did not want to necessarily have to speed up our timeline, do anything like that. So that's why that was the best thing for us. It's also a thing too where we know that getting it under contract and the way the materials are and the way that things are going is that we expect that we got the house at a certain price. As those material costs go up and as time goes on, those houses in those neighborhoods get completed, sold off for higher dollar amounts. We are picking up equity right out of the gate. So that's one reason why we did it. But for those that own a home, I'll keep beating the drum and saying it's a great time to at least evaluate what sort of equity you have in your property, see what that means for you. Because number one, you'd probably be surprised on how much equity you picked up over the past year or two. Dallas Fort Worth is about 18% last year alone. So if you're talking about you've got a $300,000 house, you're talking about gaining about 54,000 in equity in just a single year. The house has appreciated that much. So nobody hates that. Nobody hates making money. And if you love your house, you're really happy, you love the community, it's your forever home, don't move. I know a real estate agent, I'm not supposed to tell you that, but don't move. Now, if you did want to sell, would love to at least throw my hat in the ring on that. But let's talk about a couple solutions you can do if you were in fact going to list your home or at least evaluate that. We can give you an idea of what your property is worth. We can do an equity analysis to see how much you actually have in the property. In the case of me and my wife, we were thinking about not necessarily selling the first house. We were going to rent it out because I think investing in real estate is a fantastic idea. Cash flow, appreciation, all those things. Ultimately, we felt a little bit shaky about the comps and didn't know exactly what we were going to rent it out for. So we decided that it was going to be a better situation for us to sell it at some point. Now, with that being said, the reason why it was a good idea for us is because we were shaky about the comps, but what it allows us to do is, yes, we are going to be buying in the upswing. There's no doubt in that. Real estate is more expensive than it was a couple years ago when we bought our house. But what that's going to allow us to do is to essentially pay the equity we have in this one. We're going to be able to pay for the down payment, the closing costs in this new one. It's going to allow us to take that money and essentially become debt free. We're going to use that money to pay off car payments, the remainder of student loans, credit card debt. So I know it's not a great situation for necessarily everybody, but that is why for us, listing and selling that property was the best idea. So it doesn't necessarily need to go through, and you don't have to go purchase a giant home or do these things or purchase a house that you can't afford. I would actually recommend you don't do that. What I'm saying is, even more than buying and selling, what I'd encourage you to do is to look at what equity you have in your house. If that means accessing that equity through selling it and purchasing something new or repurposing that, I think it's a great idea. Would love to help. If it's more of a conversation of you can do a cash out refi to do some of those same things and you just love your home and you want to do that, I've got some great lenders, got some great professionals that can help you with that. But I really, really think right now, especially for the generation that I'm in, the ones that were in college during 2008, 2009, and didn't see that, didn't get the full brunt of that. Maybe our families bore that, employers, colleagues, things like that. This is a time where we've picked up, if you owned a home, you picked up some equity and you're now starting to gain some ground in that. And so I think it's a great idea. I think that there's a lot of possibilities if you owned your home for 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years to at least understanding what sort of equity you have in there, what sort of money and what you can repurpose that capital for. So I'd love to have the conversation. Going to go talk to my accountant and see how little I have to pay the United States government, more than I want to, but we'll see if we can't make something happen and not break any of the rules. So hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. Yeah, y'all be good.